Welcome back. You've just joined us. You're watching the news at 10 live on Channels Television. A reminder of our top stories now. Nigeria's main opposition, People's Democratic Party, the PDP, apologizes to Nigerians over leadership failure, says it has learned lessons from mistakes made while in power. Court fixes April 25th to deliver judgment in the case seeking to stop the National Assembly from overriding President Muhammad Buhari's veto of the 2018 Electoral Act amendment. President Buhari calls for more investment in agricultural research and development to boost food production as the nation's Food Security Council comes on stream. And wave of diplomatic expulsions by the United States and European Union countries as dispute with Russia over alleged poisoning of former spy deepens. ChannelsTV.com has more information for you. And on YouTube.com/channelsweb, you can watch our videos. You can also watch us on your mobile device via your browser or download the Channels TV app for Android, iOS and Windows devices from your respective stores. Besides giving you access to news and updates on the go, the Channels TV and Channels 24 app have an eyewitness feature that you can use to share those pictures, videos or news of happenings around you. Just install the app, then tap and swipe to reveal the menu and follow the instructions. Well, here are some pictures you sent to our eyewitness portal. Our first picture shows a truck being used to convey people. Our eyewitness reporter says that the vehicle is used as a staff bus by a construction company handling the Akute-Ojodu road construction. He wants the Ogun State government to do something about it. Next picture is from Shului community in Ifako-Bagada area of Lagos State, showing an uninstalled transformer. Our eyewitness reporter says that the residents are appealing to the Ikeja Electricity Company to complete the installation of the device, as he claims the people have been suffering from power outage for 7 years now. And we end with this picture from Lawanson Road in Surulere area of Lagos State, showing a dirty environment. Our eyewitness reporter says that this has become a norm and wants the cleaning agencies to do more in making the area tidy. We want to thank you so much indeed for sending those pictures, and please keep them coming by downloading the Channels TV free apps and following the instructions on them. Before now, the fight against Boko Haram insurgents in the northeast used to be the biggest challenge of food security in Nigeria, but that has changed. The crisis between herdsmen and farmers has added more to it, as farmers have in recent times abandoned their communities and farmlands for fear of being killed or attacked. This, among other things, is what the National Council on Food Security will have to critically look into and proffer a solution.
The National Food Security Council appears to be the president's new baby project. Its inauguration is coming at a time the country continues to grapple with security challenges in states considered to be the food hub of the nation. The north occupies a huge chunk of the country's landmass. The land is arable and suitable for the cultivation of crops of different kinds, but the havoc caused by Boko Haram insurgency and most recently the crisis between herdsmen and farmers have largely affected the cultivation of crops and its transportation to other parts of the country. Farmers have abandoned their homes, while many of them now seek shelter in internally displaced persons camps. The conflict between these two prominent players in the agriculture sector has also led to a decrease in milk production, meat production, and by extension, an increase in the price of cattle. There is also a bigger challenge. Many of these northern states are also routes for illegal export of food crops to neighboring countries, where food items are sold at higher rates while the locals are denied the comfort of having more to eat. The National Food Security Council may be an intervention force, but how will the council achieve its set goals of ending the clashes between herdsmen and farmers, climate change and desertification, and their impact on farmland, grazing areas and lakes, oil spillage and its impact on Niger Delta fishing communities, piracy and banditry, agricultural research institutions and extension services, and the problem of smuggling? Indeed, the task seems enormous and necessary, But the president and his team may have to convince Nigerians that the job ahead is achievable within a short period of time, especially as the administration winds down its 4 years in office.
Let's get some more perspective on this food security drive, and joining me to discuss it is the former chairman of the agricultural sector of the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Mr. Wale Oyekoya. I want to thank you so much indeed for joining us on the News at 10. We've been looking at these issues very critically in the recent past, and how insurgency in the northeast has shaped some of those challenges that we're facing. But the drive to attain food security has been on the table of discussion for some time now. What do you think it is? How well are we positioned in that quest to have food security and sustainability?
Well, we have a long way to go when we talk of food security, because we've been having a food crisis in our hand for so long. Even right before Boko Haram's attacked us, before the herdsmen. But we have a government that doesn't really listen to people. I keep on saying that until we keep on having people-oriented policy, we keep on having the same problem. Look at the council that has just been constituted. The same thing was considered last year when they put all these ministers to share the food prices in the country. What happened? They said within 2 weeks, the price of the food should come down. Did it come down? Instead of coming down, it keep on going up, because you are creating anxiety into the market, whereby some of these grains that are supposed to be consumed in the nation are being exported out. Combating with the importing of some of these goods, and that is why you see most of the local farmers, they could not be able to compete. Yeah, what the president have really done, to me, is really good, but is it sustainable? Look at the caliber of the people that are put in this council. I was expecting the stakeholders in the farming section to be part of this council.
So in other words, you're not expecting much from this?
I'm not expecting much, because look at all the governors and the ministers that were put there. Are they really affected with what is happening? The answer is no. They are already overwhelmed with the problems of their states. So we need people that are really proactive, that really are really in the middle of this problem. None of the farmers is being in this council. Even look at the herdsmen and the farm we are talking about. I was expecting, let's come to the round table. Let us see what the problems are, how we can tackle it. Definitely anti-grazing is dead on arrival, because these are the continuous problems we keep on having. And if you look at all these settlements we are talking about, how are the people behind it? These are the people that are putting in the council. So we really need to really get our onions together if we're really going to get it right.
So in getting it right, where do we start from? Now that it's been constituted, the National Council on Food Security will come on stream.
Well, I will advise the council members to really engage with the people. I'm talking of the stakeholders that are really involved in these things, so that they will not just give it to the ministries of agriculture. Because I know what is going to happen. All these geopolitical zones, governors that were elected, they will just dump it in the hands of the Ministry of Agriculture. But thereby doing that, they are going to subtract the real people that are supposed to come to the round table like a town hall meeting. Yes, because a lot of problems are still there. And when we talk of security, it's not just about food alone. Because if you are not secured in your farm, you cannot go there. If you are not secure on the road, you cannot go there. That is why you see most of the foreign investors are very scared to come to this country. And look at the rate of our production is going up. It's lower than the rate our population is growing. So you look at our population about 10 years ago, it's not like what you have today. Look at the food production. Definitely, it does not even jive at all. In 2050, we are thinking about over 400 million of Nigerians to be in this country. So what are we really doing to really prepare for this huge population coming aboard? So we have a whole lot of things, apart from the funding. Most farmers are not even getting funding.
Tell me about the United Nations prediction that at least 2 million people stand the risk of famine in the Northeast especially. How potently disturbing is this for us?
It's very disturbing, but it's happening already. And look at the people they put in the hands of affairs to even handle the issue of these people. They are the one that the corruption does not even let us have the clear picture of what is going on. Look at what happened with the secretary of the federal government that happened in the past, where most of the contract is being siphoned to his company. So the same thing, what is happening in the Northeast is an eye-opener. I've been there. I know what is really happening in the Borno state. It's a reality. And if care is not taken, definitely, whatever is happening there is going to affect the whole nation, because where is the food? Where is the grains? And whatever we are growing in the North Now, it's not even being there because everybody is so scared to go into the family. The same thing in other parts of the region.
Even though we're still expecting that reports to come through from the presidency about the former SGF. I want to thank you so much indeed for talking to us. The former chairman of the agricultural sector of the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Mr. Wale Oyekoya. Many thanks indeed for talking to us here on the News at 10. Let's quickly shift gears now, shall we, to Abuja, where Ibrahim Adre is standing by to take us through a couple more stories. Ibrahim.
Good to see you, Gimba. Now, in the Federal Capital Territory today, violence broke out in Gosa community following a clash between traders and security personnel over the demolition of a market. While the traders are accusing officials of the Federal Capital Territory Administration of not giving them prior notice of the demolition and destroying goods worth millions of naira, the coordinator, Abuja Metropolitan Development Council, Omar Shuaibu, says the traders disobeyed the order by government to keep their activities 500 meters away from the highway and are constituting a nuisance in the area. Our correspondent, Kayla Megwa, reports.
This is what is left of the Gosa market. Trading activities had been going on here for many years. The traders here are mostly of Digbagi extraction. They say they cannot afford shops in other markets and rely on their businesses here for their livelihood. According to them, no prior notice was given to them about the demolition of the market, and they are demanding compensation from the government for their damaged goods.
We are telling federal government, me single-handedly, me here, I'm telling federal government that if anything is not done properly, compensation to our women that brought loan, this express road will never hold again.
The market women are worried about their only source of livelihood, stating that the demolition of the market is a betrayal from the government.
Before we reach here, nothing remained. The whole goods where we put inside our shop will not pick even one.
The FCT people have been suffering from marginalization along.
A bigger issue here, according to these residents, is the alleged marginalization of indigents of the federal capital. They decried what they called the powerlessness of their representatives in the National Assembly and resolved to resist the demolition.
The bulldozers came and demolished everything in the market to our own greatest surprise, citing the fact that somebody wants to take over this land as allocated to him by FCT. This is misnomer, this is inhuman, this is primitive and uncivilized.
FCT natives have been marginalized. We all know that. FCT natives have been deprived, we have been excluded. It's only in the FCT that we does not have a representative in the Federal Executive Council.
At that very moment, the demolition began. To a clash between youth in the community and security operatives.
It's yet to know exactly what will happen in the days to come, but we will be watching. But as it is right now, the demolition is ongoing and the youth of this community are still saying that they stand their ground.
An official of the Abuja Metropolitan Development Council explains why the demolition is ongoing despite this.
Over time and out, we came here to drive them away to stop congesting the major road. The regulation is that no any marketing activity shall take place here within 500 meters from this airport road because of the importance and significance of this road.
The violence between indigents and security personnel continued into the Umar Musa Yaradua Highway, also known as Airport Road, and motorists were asked to turn back for their safety. Kayla Megwa, Channels Television News.
Many thanks, Kayla. Now for a short break, but when the News at 10 returns, Nigeria signs agreement for the return of stolen funds stashed in Switzerland. That's on Business News. Do join us again.